Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Cocoa in the Sun podcast. I am your host, Malika Critchlow. That's overjoyed to be here because I love doing these podcasts. And I'm so grateful for this life that I'm living and all that I'm learning and all that I'm growing. Anyways, so today we continue with chapter 11 because I didn't finish chapter 11 in the last episode of the Hathor Material, Messages from an Ascended Civilization. I think we may go into chapter 12, but I'm thinking I might just end it at 11 and then start 12 next week, and then 13. I don't know. 12 is sure I could do. I don't know. We'll see how today goes. So I'm trying to see if I have anything to share today. Any insights? And I don't have any new insights. Just that, to trust in the process and believe and know that everything will work out for you to the best way for you, in the way you can't even imagine, and it'll come to you. Like, I don't think you have to go out to look at it. I'm getting like the effortless aspect of it. I'm starting to see it now, and it occurs when I'm completely at peace and just trusting the process. And when little thoughts come up that are fearful, I always override them, and it appears to work. With thoughts of it's going to be okay, it's going to work out, it's going to work out better than I expected. Things are going to be better than I even imagined. I look forward to what's coming, all the good abundance. And then I list off the things that I'm looking forward to. And then I start being grateful too for all that I have now and how good it is now. So I don't know if that helps anyone, but that seems to be the formula that's working for me now. Of course, I had to go through a lot of different stages to get to this. My daughter is calling me. She knows I'm doing, but Zoe, I am recording. Okay, I'll come after. So yeah. So yeah, it took a long time of different types of thoughts to get here. But I think I am here. I think it's starting to unravel now. And I'm really happy. I think it feels good. It feels good. It feels good. So I don't know where you are in your process, but if you can get to the point where you can trust that it'll work out, and when those little thoughts come that it won't, you can just say to yourself, it'll be better than I expect. It'll be so good. And then start calling it all the things that you want. Like, I am this, and I am that, and I am all the things that you want to be. You just claim that you are it now. All the things that you want in the future, just claim that it is here now, and it'll start rolling in. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to share with you the YouTube video that worked for me. How do I go to my YouTube channel?
Okay, everyone needs to do this. Take your finger, cover one of your eyes, and then look at your finger with the other eye.
History.
And then take it off.
This is it.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive income investments in today's economy, I'm sorry, but you got it wrong. There's a little known trend attracting millions of dollars a day right now called audible up.
This audio presentation of The Way Out is brought to you by Christ Content Channel. Copyright 2023. All rights reserved.
It's called The Way Out, originally published in 1930 by our beloved Christ channel, Joseph Benner. And the channel it's on is called Christ Consciousness Channel. And this, I hope if you guys have YouTube and you're looking at this podcast on the YouTube, I heard this the other last week, one of the nights last week, and it was right before I was going to sleep. And I really like listening to things right before you go to sleep is be good too, because I think it works in a way, like you kind of understand it in a different level. I don't know, but it stuck with me. Some of the stuff that they were saying, that you, in order to create reality, it's really hard here on earth to do so, but you have to be really, really have a lot of faith and keep calling the things that you want and letting it be known that it's here, that it exists for you. But anyway, I'm not explaining it the best. This recording, and I think it's only like 28 minutes long. If we can help someone else, it's really good. I should read some of the comments. Anyway, let's read what the thing says. I know I'm off topic here. It has 11,000 views since September 10th. We know that with many finances often a problem. All followers of Jesus Christ should learn the law, which is obeyed will enable them to rise out of all conditions of lack, limitation, inharmony, disease, and unhappiness that may manifest. So I do believe in Jesus. He was pivotal in my understanding of unconditional love. But I also had really beautiful experiences with other teachers as well. So I'm not just limited to Jesus, but I do feel very, very connected with him and his message. And I learn, I connect with the way that he explains things and his way of living love. So, but also feel really connected with Mary Magdalene, with Hathor, with Kali, with Ganesh, with Kuan Yin, if I'm forgetting anyone. So it's not just limited to Jesus, right? I see, I feel connected to many other teachers, light beings, and it's not religion based at all. But this one happened to be Jesus, because I feel like Jesus kind of understands what it is to be human, right? Because he was, and he had to go through all of the things that we're going through, so he can explain things to us in a way that we can understand really well. So he's just love and love, like just love. Love. So really connected to his message and his being. Right, so they're saying all followers of Jesus Christ should learn the law, which if obeyed will enable them to rise out of conditions of lack, limitation, inharmony, disease, and unhappiness that may manifest. You ask if this is really possible, and if there is a law which if obeyed will enable one to accomplish all that. We say emphatically there is such a law, and that you can be free from the fear and dominance of money, that you can have an abundance of all good things, that you can be well and happy and can bring about an adjustment into perfect harmony of all departments of your life. I'm going to read this whole thing because I think it's important. But I also want to really clarify how they say an abundance of good things. Because I see a lot of people saying like abundance, and they're not clarifying good abundance. So whenever I do declare abundance in my life, I declare good abundance, an abundance of good things in all aspects of my life. So I don't know if anybody wants to do that, but I really say good abundance. Because I don't want an abundance of not so good things. If you want these things enough to train yourself to obey this law, you say that you would do anything to obtain such wonderful blessings. If it is humanly possible, it is not only possible, but everyone who's filled with such a desire can do it, for no agreed truth that you are permitted to be in such unhappy conditions by your higher self, solely in order that you may seek and gain the knowledge, the power, and ability to control them, in order to free yourself forever from them and to assume your true place in life, and therein receive the heritage of good that is here for you. Whenever you become wise and strong enough to claim it and use it for the good of others and not for selfish ends. First, know that it is all a matter of consciousness, and that you yourself alone are to blame for these conditions, for you alone created them and are firmly holding them in your consciousness, or they would not be so plainly manifesting. All this we are taught in those great words, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. We know that you have heard this stated perhaps many times before, and so often that it may have become an old story. Get something to drink. Some of you have tried to prove it and to rid your consciousness of all negative thoughts. But because it took determined and persistent effort, you soon grew tired on account of the strong opposition met with, and you then dropped back into the current of the old conditions, and if anything, became more helpless than you were before. Others may have heard of the saying, but it did not impress them, for they could not accept the assertion that all of the inharmonies in their lives are the result of their own beliefs or their past thinking crystallized into beliefs. They preferred to blame it all on someone else, and even God came in for a share of the blame. The main trouble with almost everyone is that they do not realize how many negative and destructive beliefs they are carrying around with them in the subconscious realms of mind, and which creep through into the conscious mind whenever it is free from interest in other things. Until you can begin to study your mind and watch for and note these negative beliefs, then when they come, and you will find that they are actually beliefs, and refuse them further support, there is not much hope for you. In fact, it is the first thing you must learn to do. Those who are too mentally lazy to do such watching and controlling of their thoughts are usually the ones who will not accept that their own thinking and beliefs create for them all of the conditions now manifesting in their lives. But it makes no difference whether you accept it as being true or not. It is the law. The law now, if you're ready to hear the law, we will state it in words that everyone can understand. Note these words and let them impress themselves on you, so that from this moment ever afterward, they will live in your mind as a guiding influence. Whatever you think and hold in consciousness as being so, out manifests itself in your body or affairs. Whether you accept this as yet or not, consider for a while the truth that every thought you think, especially those related in any way to self, hovers around in your mental atmosphere, just as a child stays close to its parents. These thoughts, being about yourself, receive the life that maintains them from the feeling that you put into them. In other words, the thoughts themselves are but mental forms, but when you think them with feeling of any kind, you fill these forms with life, and they become as living things which ever return to you, their parent, to be fed with more living power. For all being expressed as life is vital power. And if you only knew it, all the thoughts which persistently influence your inner and harass your inner, persistently influence your mind and harass you are only your mental children clamoring for food and attention and compelling more worrying, anxiety, or fear from you, all of which are excellent food containing rich vital power and which makes them grow rapidly until they become so powerful that in time they dominate your mind so that you can scarcely think of anything else.
Consciousness.
In the furniture business, things move fast. The ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who can keep up.
Be positive. The first is the importance of always being positive in your thinking, positive in your speaking, and positive in your doing, and never negative. The negative person attracts all the negative things of life, all the ills, inharmonies, troubles that are in the mental atmosphere, the effluvia of other weak and negative minds, while a positive person attracts all the good. If you understand the radio, you will know that when you set your dial at a certain wavelength, all that is on the air of that wavelength will make itself heard. It is exactly the same with your mind. It will receive whatever happens to be on the air of the wavelength to which your thoughts are attuned, so that it is up to you, and you only what your mind radio gives forth or out manifests. Have you ever noticed how a positive person in a crowd of ordinary persons is always the center of attraction, always makes his or her presence felt, and always accomplishes things that lesser ones never think of? A most forcible illustration was once when driving on a thoroughfare where there was a temporary narrow road built at the side of where a new bridge was being constructed. We came to a halt because of a long line of automobiles ahead. After waiting for some minutes, the rider got out and noticed perhaps 30 cars on the long decline to the bottom of the ravine, and a similar line up the hill on the other side. But seemingly the left side of the road was clear all through. He could not see any sense in waiting, so he pulled out and started ahead and went through without opposition. While going up the other side, he looked back and found a great string of cars following him, and a man in one of these told him they had been waiting back there for 20 minutes. Evidently, 2 cars from opposite directions had come together with others following them, and they were afraid they could not get through on the narrow road because of other cars coming. It is always so in life. The positive soul gets there, the negative one stays behind, or tags along when he finds a leader. Why be negative? It is all an attitude of mind, and can be changed simply by changing your beliefs. Besides, we are all sons and daughters of God, children of the greatest king in the world, who naturally gives of his kingdom to all those of us who know it is our divine heritage, and who will accept and enjoy them. Use money fearlessly. The quickest way to rid your mind of that old fear of want, fear of your job, fear of the power of money, is to have an absolute trust in your Heavenly Father's loving care, and for you to pay out gladly your last dollar for the needed thing, knowing that by so doing you make it possible for him to supply you with plenty more. It is as if your needs must keep the stream of money ever flowing, if you would not clog up its source. For money, in its true sense, is the means for the perfect expression of material life, even as the blood is the means for the perfect expression of physical health. In both cases, your mind must not only hold true and pure thoughts, God's thoughts only, about the material life of yourself and others, and about your physical well-being, but you must know that God's mind is the source of all true thoughts. And by
Okay, so I listened to that recording and it just clarified a lot of stuff for you. I just played a part of it and read a part of it, but you have to listen to the whole thing. It's like 28 minutes, and this is not what this episode is for. I'm going to finish up the Hathor Material, chapter 11. But maybe when I finish this, yeah, maybe I might play the whole episode for you if it can help. Maybe that's a good idea. Or should that be a separate episode? I don't know. We'll see how I am feeling. But anyway, I just want to say that ever since that, and I don't negate all the other aspects of learnings I had, the process was indeed a clearing and still is clearing. But I feel as though I feel much better. I feel much more trusting and secure. And and sorry about that, second. And things have been happening in a way that's been kind of sorting things out to the next step, right? It hasn't sorted it out completely, but it's gotten me to the next step of what happens kind of next, which is kind of cool. And I have it's been effortless. It's come to me, and then it's come to me, and the solution is there. Not the full solution, but for the next few months or what have you. So it's just making me trust more and more. Okay, where did we stop off? And so then in the last thing they were talking about prophecy and probability, right? And how we take it to mean it's what's going to happen when it's just a high probability of it happening, and we can alter it if we don't want that outcome. So we can affect the outcome. Okay. And then also they had talked about they were talking about destiny and how fate and destiny and probability are all intermixed and how it can be changed. Previously, Virginia was asking if it was going to move to a different location once it ascended or it went up to the other dimension. And the Hathor said they didn't know it. It's what's going on here is a whole new thing. And that's what everyone's observing. And it could possibly move, or it could move in a vibrational way, a frequency way, and not actually physically move. But they don't know. So I think they guide us in terms of what occurred with their own ascension. But honestly, what's going on here too is somewhat new and different. So we are experiencing something that no one else has. So they can guide us to a certain extent, but really it's an unlocking within ourselves to know how to move forward, right? They can give us what worked for them. But we kind of are living it and will kind of, I think, figure out the pathway in our own way. So like for me, it appears to me my own specific pathway. And I don't know if others have the same pathway, right? Mine seems to unfold with loving of self and following heart joys. Loving of self was intentioned, and then action was done in terms of doing things I enjoyed, being true to myself in regards to how I'm feeling, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what I want to do, what I don't want to do, and honoring those things. And then some effort in looking at aspects of myself that I didn't like and finding small ways to love them and accept them. And you know, I would say too that this, although the actions were done because it felt good. So everything seems to stem from love and joy and feeling good. And I've had a lot of help from, I believe, my guides and angels in terms of ideas and what works for me, ideas, dreams, understandings of different aspects of myself that I was not even aware of, and healings I didn't know I needed, situations I didn't know still affected me. So it's not just me, it's not just them. It feels like everyone's involved. Like I intentioned for them, I wanted, and they helped me and meet me there. And my divine self too, showing me things I want for my life that I wasn't aware that really are aligned with what would bring me joy. So clearing that, not what society says will bring me joy, but what really will bring me joy. And I think that I'm grateful for this process and I say it's like it's layers. It removes and unfolds different layers. So you see you see things differently, different things clear, and you see things more clear, and you can tell what really is for you, not based on what society thinks, but what your heart wants. And what my heart wants is different from what my ego or mind wants, because what my heart wants always, to me, feels unrealistic or out of reach or an insane dream, like, what's wrong with you? And what my ego wants or my mind wants always rotates around safety and being realistic and looking at things from the past and what I was able to do prior. And the heart is like, no, I don't want to be limited. This could happen and I want it, and it's going to be good, and you can get it, and it's good for you, and you're going to enjoy it. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared you won't be good enough, or don't be scared that you'll be judged, or just be yourself. Just be your purest self and allow for this dream that you have could come true, that it's not there. It's not there by an accident or fluke. It's there because it's what you would enjoy, and it is what can help others, and it is what will bring you the most harmony and the most peace, the most joy, and the most love. And it's going to expand your life in so many different ways that you can't even fathom. You don't even know you going after this will lead to this and will lead to this experience and these people and this and that. It's like, so the heart's joys are different from the mind, because the mind will say, well, why not just a decent nursing job where you can pay your bills? And the heart will say, well, why not being successful in something you actually love? Wildly successful in a way where you can serve others, where it doesn't feel like work, but it feels like fun and joy. And you are able to have experiences that you never thought you'd be able to have. Experiences can include travels. It could include different types of homes. It could include different people, gatherings. It could include being exposed to different foods, cultures. It could include more time with family, freedom of your time, freedom to just do what you want every day. It could include more learnings about things that interest you. It could include a whole bunch of stuff that you never thought possible. All you have to really do is know that it will happen and allow for it to happen and let it come to you in the best way for you. You just have to let it come, and you don't have to do anything. So that's where I am in my process, and that's what it appears to be looking like it will be. So I am still in the process and haven't experienced it fully. So the trusting and the knowing is coming in more solidly now for me. So the dreams that I have for myself feel more possible. And I think they come to me, the more I relax into knowing it'll come to me at the right time and not stressing how or when. So like I'm still in the process of it, but I'm already beginning to see really beginning to see how solutions come in an effortless way. The more that I maintain my peace and my joy and not look at the external to tell me how I should feel, but instead maintaining myself and how that affects my external. And yeah, following my hearts and joys and love. Love. Yo, you know, I always know that love is beautiful, right? When you're in love, like it colors the world a different way. Like the world is just completely, it's just a whole different feeling. You can have the same life, and when you're in love, it just feels 10 times better, right? So I know love is major. That's like, romantic love or like that, right? But I didn't know how expansive it can be with loving yourself, and then how that extends to how you are with others and how you see others and how that changes your experience. And that's like major. So I would just say focus on yourself and loving yourself and figuring out how to do that, and asking, if you don't know how, asking for help how to do that from your guides or your angels or God, whoever you believe in. For me, it was different layers of it. And I mentioned before, it was really listening to what I wanted and paying attention to myself and my feelings and emotions and honoring them and looking at them and asking, why do I feel this way? And how can I not suppress this or repress this? And learning to speak up and use my voice and learning to respect myself, right? And honor myself and honor how I'm feeling and not discredit it or be like, you shouldn't feel like that. But no, looking at why I did feel like that. And if this didn't feel good right now, then honoring that I'm not there yet and I don't have to be there until I'm ready to be there. Stuff like that. So and being grateful for my being and my body and my health and my home and my life. Yeah. Anyways, I went off topic. So we are going to continue with chapter 11 of the Hathor Material. So Virginia says, Virginia, we presently have many discussions about time, the measurement of time, the acceleration of time, the Mayan calendar concept, and so forth. How does the measurement of time relate to destiny? The Hathors, you have opened up a very large topic here. And it may take quite a while to explain this, but we will try to be succinct. It is related to language. As odd as that seems, when you have an experience and you describe that experience through language, you are better able to grasp the experience to hold it. And language facilitates the recognition of experience. One can certainly have experience without language, but language allows consciousness to mark an experience. For example, if you try to remember something that has occurred in the past, let's say you took a book in a drawer and you leave the house, you put a book in a drawer and you leave the house and you go somewhere across town. Then you realize that you need the book. So you call home to your partner, you tell them to put the book in the second drawer and ask them to read you a particular page. Language has assisted you to communicate, so language allows the facilitation of experience until you become telepathic again. It would be very difficult at present to direct the person to the book if you did not have language. So language charts a pathway through experience, and it is the function of language to do so. But it's also its limitation, we might add. Time is a similar process. It is an actual flow, but it is much more complex than the linear way your society, your culture measures it. Because time is actually spiraling and nonlinear, it is multidimensional in nature. Not three-dimensional. Please realize that as soon as you use a linear measurement of time or any system of measurement, you have created an effect upon perception. Now, there are three particular qualities or levels of time about which we would like to speak. The first quality would be biological time, the organic time, the rhythms of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of the pulse of your heart, the rhythm of the wind, the rhythms of the water on this earth. This would all be related to earth rhythms and the biological rhythms of your body that are organic. You also have the clock, which was invented to measure time sequentially in bits and pieces, so that whole societies of humans live their lives according to a mechanistic measurement of time, not according to their biological wisdom. This is creating tremendous stress in individuals, which is not fully recognized. Living one's life by the clock in order to fit into the convenience of society may serve you at one level, but at a biological level, it is very stressful because it disconnects you from your biological wisdom. Wow, never thought of it that way. Have you? I never thought of it that way. Measuring our time biologically according to the rhythms of nature brings us the second level of time, which is connected to the moon, the lunar sequence of time. The 13 full moons that pass within roughly a year's time is a more organic, a truer measure of time than the current Gregorian calendar used by many rural societies, especially Western societies. The 12-month Gregorian calendar was created to disconnect people from the lunar organic sense of time. The creators of the calendar were very precise in what they were doing. It was a ripoff, to use a street term on your planet. It disconnects. It was a way to pull human consciousness out of the great mother awareness of Earth and connect it to something that was abstract. So when one measures time using the Gregorian calendar, one is literally out of synchronization with the true flow of time. It is an arbitrary measurement. It was pulled out of the hat, so to speak. It is not organic. It does not reflect the rhythms of the body, nor does it reflect the rhythms of the earth. So a truer sense of time would be to return to the lunar phases. And finally, the third sense of time is intergalactic, which is the flow and relationships of galaxies to one another, with reference to the great central sun and their relationships to your sun, the star of the solar system. That is another level of time about which you know very little. So you have three levels of true time: biological, lunar, and intergalactic. One can measure time sequentially, mechanistically, and seemingly begin to have control over Earth because one can actually make things happen according to time. And this is true because one is creating another time stream through consciousness. But what we would say to you is, if you wish to come into an accurate description of time that is aligned with the universe, then turn your attention away from the clock and the calendar as you use it, and turn it towards your body, towards the moon, and towards the sun. Virginia, is the Mayan calendar capable of doing that for us, the Hathors? The Mayan calendar is capable of tracking the lunar phases and the intergalactic phases. It does not track the body wisdom. The body wisdom is an organic biological measurement of time that is held within the individual. But yes, for the lunar phases and intergalactic time, the Mayan calendar is the most accurate descriptor that you have in your possession, Virginia. Then what is our best way to use time given the dichotomy of the present society? The Hathors. Unless you drop out, as it were, you will have to find a balance. If you have to adjust to society, most individuals do, then you may have to pay homage to the clock and be where you agree to be at a certain hour. But while you're following the clock, pay attention to your own body. Perhaps when everyone else is eating, may not be your time to eat. Maybe it is time to rest, to read, or to take a walk, and then eat something later. The differences in the rhythms of individuals are vast. So you must become sensitive to your own rhythms and take care to make choices from your body wisdom, while also paying attention to the clock and the Gregorian calendar. We would simply encourage you to begin to pay attention to the lunar phases and to begin to sense that movement of time from the new moon to the next new moon. If you can live in two worlds, you can be in society, noticing and tracking things accordingly to that measurement, and at the same time be aware of and live your life in these deeper natural rhythms. Virginia, you said earlier that there were secret geometries. Could you discuss those geometries you often talk about, such as the flower of life? I love the flower of life. I wanted to show you. I have it. You want to see it? Answer it. Oh. Can you guys see it? Isn't it gorgeous? The flower of life. I like this because it's a globe, so you don't see it flat. You know. Anyways, the flower of life is one of my favorite sacred geometries. Sacred geometry figures. Okay. You said earlier that there were secret geometries. Could you discuss these geometries we often talk about, such as the flower of life and various mathematical understandings and rituals? Do you see that these have affected destiny or are affecting our destiny now? The Hathors. The flower of life is a fundamental pattern that the universe is laid out on. So even the molecular and atomic grids are laid out in this pattern. Therefore, it is the pattern that unfolds destiny. It is the blueprint. Without it, there would be no manifestation. But is your question, has an awareness of this pattern affected destiny? Virginia, yes. The Hathors. As more people recognize the hermetic truth as above, so below, that all things are interconnected, one begins to come out of the miasma of the belief that things are random. To recognize that things are connected and that there is an intelligence that holds all things together is wisdom. As one awakens to that truth, destiny is changed because one cannot continue to do things that one did when one was asleep. So yes, it is serving the purpose of waking up and changing individual and collective destinies. Virginia, could you please comment about any prior civilization on the planet which really understood its destiny and attained a high degree of achievement with it? The Hathors. The Lemuria was capable of this for an extended time. Atlantis did this for a while until they made an error in perception and got into duality as their reality, until they became so mental that they lost the balance of love. Of course, the high density of the golden period of Egypt and the golden period of Greece were all a tremendous flowering and forward movement in human consciousness. There were also cultures in Africa for which you have no names because your history does not mark them. As stated, we have had prior relationships with many early civilizations. Because of our intense relationship with the high period of the Egyptian flowering, we know the powerful seeds of influence and achievement that were gained then, especially through the mystery schools and the multifaceted use of the rods of power. Virginia, rods of power, could you clarify this term? Yeah, the Hathors. Pausing to discuss the question among themselves. Excuse the delay, but we were pondering how much to say about this topic since to adequately answer would be quite lengthy. We expect it would make this chapter too long and ask whether you wish us to continue or not. Virginia, to avoid missing anything important, why don't we complete this chapter now and carry the words of power topic forward? The Hathors agreed. Then let us complete our remarks with a final reminder that your destiny is not totally predetermined, but rests in the potential probabilities of higher consciousness. Through this elevated awareness, your positive choices, and your loving vibratory frequency, you are on an expanding journey of cosmic proportions. By using the self-mastery exercises we've recommended for your growth and healing, you will affect far more than your own life, the Earth's progress. You will assist in bringing light and hope to many other beings presently unknown to you. So sometimes I do use the practice of the light coming from above and below, lighting up my whole body, and then breathing it out through the flower of my heart. I use that sometimes. Sometimes when I feel, I don't use it every day. Sometimes transcendental meditation, I also try. I think so what was happening was I was testing it out to see how it affected my dreams and my connection. And so I noticed with it, I think with the transcendental meditation, during it, I clear a lot of stuff from during the day. So in the dreams are less and might be just one thing I dream about. But like not always. So I don't know what to say. I just but then sometimes I don't use it and like I'll have like 4 dreams or 3, yeah, 3 or 4 dreams a night. That kind of clears many different things. So I think if you want to clear stuff that way with the transcendental meditation, you can. But I think you can also clear stuff, with your guides and angels and your dreams as well. I think my preference is my dreams because that's what's been going on. I don't even like to say dreams because there's a time right before sleep and wake. Sometimes I'm always be dreaming. So I kind of like that what's been going on for the past few months, and I kind of like how that unfolds and the different things I experience. Because when I experience love and stuff, it's through that, and it I don't know if it was before the transcendental meditation. One of them was after I started trying it, but not the same day I tried it. So I don't know. I don't know. I personally will use the transcendental meditation when I feel called to do it. And when I want to do it because I'm enjoying it. But generally I don't feel like I don't feel called to do it every day. And I enjoy the way I'm progressing through the synchronicities and the dreams and the understandings and stuff that comes when I'm driving or washing clothes. Also, I noticed when I always say this, I think meditation works for a lot of people, and I don't know how my thing, it's not a wow thing for me. I notice like I really do enjoy looking at the sunset, and that's it for me. That's it. Just relaxing in my room with no TV on. Sometimes the TV could be on, but with no TV on or just solfeggio frequencies and looking at the sunset, I feel really connected and good. Sometimes I get understanding, sometimes I don't. I notice too, and I am very grateful and thankful. Understandings and solutions and stuff come. And sometimes I know I'm connected to because I feel like tingly, and I find that can happen just from me looking at the sunset. But I can also feel tingly from the transcendental meditation, which I did a few times. But it's a different tingle. It's a different one. Feels a little different. So for me, it's not something I'm going to use, I think, a lot. I really like whatever's going on now, but I do like it and will use it as I see fit and as I enjoy it, you know? So, yeah. Not every night I get dreams either. Some nights I don't get any dreams, and it's because they're probably giving me a rest and there's nothing for me to clear, or I just need to sleep and rejuvenate. It's not, but I do enjoy the dreams. And I was like, what am I going to learn tonight? So chapter 12 would be the rods of power. I hope it helped today when I was talking about, I touched on a lot of things today that I didn't expect to. I never know what I'm going to talk about. I'm being honest with you guys. I like it to be so organic that I don't prep the chapters. It could be also because I don't want to say it's laziness. It's just how I enjoy to do the podcast. I don't like prepping it. I like seeing what comes when it comes organically and seeing what flows. So I think that's the part of me, just being in the flow and enjoying the process, right? And not making it work, but making it fun and just a conversation, because I enjoy conversation. I don't think I enjoy don't enjoy, I don't want to say discipline because I don't think I enjoy discipline too much. Yeah. Having to do something because you have to do it. I like to do things because I want to do it and it's fun. And that's how my discipline will come out, because I like doing it. Not because I have to do something I don't like to get the result that I want. I don't want to do that. And that could just be my life path and what I enjoy this lifetime. Something I need to learn this lifetime, right? Something I want to experience this lifetime. Maybe I experienced discipline before and I got that lesson. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know about that yet, but yeah. So yeah, so we talked about, I talked about trusting the process and allowing it to unfold, and the more that you trust and you know, the more solutions come effortlessly, that you don't have to go searching for it. And it's really unexpected how it comes, and beautiful. And it feels so good to just trust and know it's going to come. The more that it happens, the more confidence you have in it. Also, like how it comes in believable ways for you. It's really up to you what you believe, right? So it comes in a way that you could see it happening, I guess. So I need to see things happening on a grander scale, a longer time maybe, and you know. But yeah, so I talked about that. I talked about what helped me with the trusting process, and when I do have the fearful thoughts, the type of things I say that help me get out of that cycle, that soothe me. Soothing yourself when you're not feeling good, like with your thoughts and verbally, I think for me is very effective in affecting my peace and then my external outcomes. So more so than I give it credit for, I gave it credit for before, but it does work. And then I played the YouTube video so you could see the video that made an impact. So that did. And so we read the book. So we'll do chapter 12 next episode. The rods of power. I'm intrigued to find out what the rods of power is, but it's a long chapter, so I'm not going to start it now because this podcast will be too long. I hope you have a great weekend, because this will be the last podcast for this week. Hope you have a great weekend until next week. I hope you know that you are loved. I hope you know that you are loved, and you be gentle with yourself as You learn to love yourself. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.